Hi again, everybody, and welcome to Inside Golf. I'm Harry Donahue. As you can tell, we're in Orlando for the annual PGA of America Merchandise Show. And coming up today, we're going to talk to some people from the Valley Forge Tourism and Convention Board. Ed Harris, Mike Bowman will be here to tell us about a couple big events coming to the Delaware Valley this year in terms of golf. Also, talking about big events, France, for the first time ever, is going to be hosting the Ryder Cup in late September. And we'll give you a preview of that and a lot more for the Merchandise Show in Orlando on Inside Golf.
Battery consumption, it offers both cool
Inside Golf is presented by Destination Montco Golf. 54 courses, 300,000 yards. Check them out at montcogolf.com. By the First Tee of Philadelphia. The First Tee helps young men and women become better golfers, but most important, better people. Get involved. Visit thefirstteephiladelphia.org. By the Golf Association of Philadelphia, GAP, celebrating amateur golf since 1897. By Jersey Man Magazine, it's a Jersey way of life. And by Philly Man Magazine, bringing it to Broad Street. And by Inside Golf's partner since 1998, the Philadelphia Section PGA, experts in the game and business of golf. Take time to thank your local PGA golf professional.
In 2008, 13-year-old Lester Bell snuck through the fence of Cedar Crest Golf Course. That's where PGA professional Ira McGraw first met him. But back home, Lester had given up hope for a future. So Ira gave the young man a job, became his friend, and 3 years later, his legal guardian. Today, Lester's still golfing, and he hasn't given up since. The best stories end in thanks. Share your story at ThanksPGAPro.com.
The First Tee of Greater Philadelphia, where golf is more than a game.
The tournament also ties to our Destination Montgomery County Golf brand, which was first introduced 3 years ago to really build awareness for this impressive golf we have here in Montgomery County.
Welcome back to Inside Golf. We're in Orlando at the annual PGA Merchandise Show with two friends from Montgomery County. We're talking to two guys from the Valley Forge Tourism and Convention Board. Mike Bowman, Ed Harris. Mike's the CEO. And Ed, you're the marketing specialist. Guys, I know you have your lines, several lines in the water concerning Montgomery County. Tourism, convention, everything. But a large part of that is golf. All right, tell us about the Valley Forge Invitational coming in May to Montgomery County.
Yes, May 24th to be exact. It's the LPGA Symetra Tour. It's the first time it's coming through Montgomery County, and we're really excited about it.
It's going to be played at Ravensclaw.
We're going to be up at Ravensclaw in the Pottstown, Limerick area, which is an outstanding public course. People don't realize we've got over 50 courses. Half of those are public, half of those are private country clubs. Our public courses give the private clubs a run for the money. So definitely come to Montco to play some great golf in 18.
So we'll see some of the future stars maybe on the LPGA Tour, 3-day event.
Absolutely. In fact, over 400 title winners from the LPGA have come through the Symetra Tour. And so we're branding it the Valley Forge Invitational. It's May 24th to the 26th. We're putting more information on our montcogolf.com website. And it's exciting from a tourism standpoint. This event's going to bring close to $1 million in economic impact to the region.
Speaking of economic impact to the region, later on in September, Mike, you're going to have one of the biggest events on the PGA Tour. It's the next to last stop on the FedEx Challenge, the BMW Championship at Aronimink. Now, Aronimink, and don't get on me for my geography, but Aronimink technically is not in Montgomery County, just over the line. But
just on the border.
As far as you're concerned, hey.
Just on the line, Harry. Yeah, we're very, very pumped and excited about the BMW coming to the region. We have hotels already that are starting to fill up. There's a buzz, as everyone knows, about the BMW. It's on NBC all weekend. It's just a great event. And what's the purse head again for the BMW?
$8.75 million this year.
Well, and the field at that point, I think, is down to the last 60 in the FedEx Cup standings.
It's the third and the four FedEx Cup playoffs.
And the next week is when they play for the big ones down in Atlanta. So this is going to be the top of the top.
And Harry, you can't forget our third annual tourism rally, which will be held this year at Huntington Valley.
Smack dab in the middle of Montgomery County.
Oh, we love Huntington Valley, the eastern part of the county. I don't know, I used to caddy there as a kid, there in Philmont. So.
That's why you're in such great shape.
The hills at Huntington Valley are amazing. So we're going to partner again with Sports Illustrated for our golf guide, which will feature all the golf courses in Montgomery County and the region, right, Ed?
We're coming back this year with a bigger golf guide. It's going to get bigger every year, and we're going to give it out at all our 75-plus hotels. So when people come into town, they can discover all the great golf we have. We'll also be using Sports Illustrated to make sure it's distributed outside the region to get visitors to come impact our tourism economy.
There you go, folks. Golf, entertainment, shopping, everything. Tourism, conventions. You guys are great, and a first ever Valley Forge Invitational.
Thank you, Harry.
Mike,
It was a pleasure.
Ed, and before you guys leave, I want to thank you for your partnership with us. It's been great over the last couple of years.
Likewise.
I hope we can do as much for you as what you do for Montgomery County, tourism, golf, you name it. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Harry.
Enjoy your time in Orlando. So as you can see, it's going to be a big year for some big events in the Philadelphia area. Speaking of big events, France getting ready to host a real biggie on an international scale. That's next on Inside Golf.
As long as there is fear, as long as there is curiosity, as long as there are undiscovered corners of the earth, and as long as there is willingness and desire, then you are capable of more. The BMW Championship is coming to Philadelphia September 2018. The top 70 PGA Tour players will be there. Will you?
Hi, I'm Brett O'Brien with Climate Caddy. We have one of the best new products out here at the PGA show. A couple of features of our Climate Caddy include these PIR sensors. What those do is when you step out of the cart, after 30 seconds, the unit automatically switches off, which is great because it helps with battery consumption. It offers both cool and heating air, so no matter if you're in the middle of summer and you want to be cooled off, or if you're in the middle of winter and you need to be warmed up, it really is a season extender and lets you play golf almost year-round. This is our boost heat mode. This will heat a whole cart, 45 seconds. You can really feel the airflow coming out of both of these. One of the other great things about this unit is it's super easy to install. It takes a matter of minutes. It's affordable for the everyday golfer, the weekend warrior, or someone who's really committed to playing golf around the year.
What an unbelievable setting. What do you think? How's that? You have to go out here and if you can look out and feel like you're going to fall over. So give me a little. You want rid of me already.
Well, if you're a fan of golf, you probably know that the 2018 Ryder Cup is going to be held right outside of Paris, maybe just a half hour by car at Le Golf National. And here to talk about what it means to the people in France is Agnes Engrand. She is with the French Tourism Development Agency. Did I get that right, Agnes?
Yes, you did.
See that? I'm not as bad as you think. Now, let me ask you something. I'm sure the people in France, first time ever that the Ryder Cup has been held in France. What's the level of anticipation and excitement?
Well, obviously, we are thrilled. I mean, I think exciting is not strong enough. We are thrilled to host the event for the very first time in France. I guess France until now wasn't really seen as a golf country or golf destination. So I think the Ryder Park is going to change that dramatically. The fact that it's also hosted at this wonderful golf course called the Golf National, which is like very near to one of our landmarks, which is Versailles and the Chateau de Versailles. Yeah.
So the palace at Versailles is not far away.
The Golf National is right outside the Palace of Versailles. We also, I think we see that as enormous assets for the destination. So we, as of today, tickets are sold out, and at least from for the consumer. So there's lots of other way to get tickets. Lots of providers are still selling tickets, and one of our number one clientele coming to the Ryder Cup is actually the American people, and we have more American people who have signed up and bought tickets for the Ryder Cup than they had in Gleneagle when the Ryder Cup was in Scotland. So we are very, yes.
Why do you think that is?
Well, I think there is an attraction, for France, and also the factor of novelty that people never actually thought they could come to France to see an event as famous as the Ryder Cup, and they also see just an opportunity to extend their stay in France and experience other golf courses that we have in France. We have over 518 all, golf courses in France. So there's a lot of expectation. We are thrilled to actually welcome the world of golf in France.
Let me ask you a question. Things can get a little loud during the Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
I mean, people really, and there's some partisan cheering, and now you mentioned that there were more Americans already signed up for tickets than went to Scotland. So you're going to have some boisterous American fans right there outside of Paris.
Well, I think we have a bit of an experience with that. We have hosted events like the
soccer.
World Soccer, and
World
we
Cup?
have hosted Rugby World Cup. We had also a lot of very noisy, funny Irish boys to entertain. So I think we can put up with a few noisy Americans enjoying the golf.
Okay.
The Ryder Cup.
It all starts, I think, September 26th into October. The weather's going to be great.
Of course. Well, whatever it's happened with the weather is always great in Paris. It's Paris, so it would. But I'm sure it'd be nice. I mean, actually, end of September is a very good time.
Okay.
The temperature would be nice. It's a perfect time. Yeah.
Agnes, thanks for all the information.
My pleasure.
Vive la France.
People of France, yeah.
Hi everyone, Roy here from Team Yatra here at the PGA Merchandise Show, debuting our new product called the UniCharge, and let me demonstrate it for you. This product was designed to keep your golfers charged with their mobile devices on the course. Nowadays people are using GPS apps, they're streaming audio, and their phone needs are changing, and people need to be connected. But more importantly, they prefer to charge their phone while their phone is in their possession versus leaving them in a clubhouse or leaving it in a car. They really want access to their phone. So let me show you a little bit of how the system works. So if you're in a pro shop, simply when you're buying your balls and tees, you can ask the person to get you one of our power banks. And what's really cool about our power banks is it is a complete solution. It's got the cables built in, and it'll fast charge your phone from 0 to 70% in under 30 minutes. What's really cool about it is we designed it to change with technology. So this is your Apple Lightning cable, and this is your micro USB, but as technology changes, we can simply swap out the cables. So if it's a Type C or a new cable, we can simply do that for you. Private courses are using this as a wonderful amenity for their members. Public courses are actually renting these out for a small nominal fee per round, and at a total cost for the entire system, which includes 8 power banks and the full base station, it's around $650 US. And another thing is, the only way to charge these battery packs is in our base station. So if somebody walks away with it, it's kind of useless to them. And finally, we are going to be selling these on a retail level. They'll come very similar to our packaging for our speakers, and you'll be able to buy those at the pro shop. You'll be able to buy them on our line store, Amazon, various retailers.
viewers of Inside Golf, have you heard about Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine? Published by ex-Eagles and Philadelphia Stars tight end Ken Dunnick, these magazines offer the very best in content on subjects of interest to men. Writers include Bill Line and George Anastasia. And you can increase your business by attending our monthly private parties as an advertiser. Call 856-912-4007 or email ken@jerseymanmagazine.com for more information. Welcome back. Inside Golf now continues with Teed Off. And today we're back at the Bluebell Inn, the historic Bluebell Inn in Bluebell, Pennsylvania, right down the road, literally, from Bluestone Country Club. Speaking of which, they have an incentive 2-year program for membership at the Bluestone Country Club. Want details? Just go to their website. It's bluestonecc.com. Panel today includes Mike Kern, longtime Philadelphia sports writer, covered everything. His true love, though, was for the game of golf. Am I saying that correctly?
I think they would take me on that 2-year membership.
There you go. Right down the road.
Yeah.
You'll love it. Oscar Mestri is making his first appearance here on Teed Off. Oscar, great amateur player. What are you, about a +5, +6 now, Oscar?
Yeah.
He's a member at Overbrook Golf Club and also a member of the executive committee from the Golf Association of Philadelphia. Good to see you, Oscar.
Thank you.
And Joe Logan, no stranger to Inside Golf and Teed Off, from myphillygolf.com. Okay, this topic, Joe, is about building in your backyard, and I'm sure you've thought about it. Maybe you've done it, I don't know, a little par 3 hole. I got the idea after watching the recent coverage of the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am, and of course Jim Nance, who does it for CBS, lives at Pebble Beach, probably has a couple other homes, I don't know. Maybe he's here in Bluebell for all I know.
He does.
He's a member at
right
Murray. But anyway, he has a replica of the iconic par 3, what is it, the 7th hole? Elevated tee.
About 120.
About 120 maybe. Very manageable for anybody, except that the wind's blowing off the water. So he has that right in his, literally in his backyard, and he entertains friends, probably gets a little practice in. If you had the chance to do something like that, give me 1, 2, or 10 par 3 holes that you would love to be able to wake up in the morning, go out there and tee it up on.
What do you mean, if I had the chance?
Of course you have the chance, we know that.
As usual, I've given this some thought, and at first I thought the iconic 16th at Cypress Point.
That's pretty good.
Which is famous. Look it up
plus,
on YouTube.
Plus, that'd be the only chance we get to play it.
I know.
That's right, you can play it every day.
Right. I thought about the 17th at Marion, which I really like a lot. But I wanted to come up with a hole that ordinary schmoes from around town can play. And the one that came to mind that I really like is the 16th at Glen Mills, which is, it's not an island green, but it's almost. I mean, it's an angular green over water with a pin position out on the right. You know, it's a watery
You're adding
grave.
a lot to the proposition here. Now you got a water hazard in there. It's bad enough you have a bunker or two, but now you want to put a water hazard in there also.
It's a fun. I mean, it's one of these tee shots you hit.
7th at Pebble's a water hazard.
Yeah, and it's all over water, and so the whole time you're sitting there wondering, did I hit the right club? Is it going to go in the water? Is it going to go over? It's a fun one. It's one you don't know until the ball lands.
All right, Oscar, you've played the 7th at Pebble?
I have.
And
the U.S. Amateur.
Actually, and Joe was covering it for us.
Really?
So,
Yes.
so we go back a ways.
How'd you play it?
I did not make match play, but I did beat David Gossett at Pebble, even though he did a lot better than me in the event as a rule.
Wind blowing that day
His
when you?
career's been about as good as his has since then. So.
Right. So I have played the 7th Pebble. You know, there's so many wonderful short par 3s. I mean, as a funny man, I was thinking I'd like to have the 8th hole at Oakmont so that I could just practice hitting drivers all day long and not get to the green.
But, you need a big backyard, right?
Exactly. It'd also mean I guess I would have a lot of acreage as a yard, but you know, there's so many wonderful short par 3s. Of course, you know, Marion's 13, which cost Phil Mickelson probably the Open there in 2013. And of course, you always think about having to tee it up and execute at the 12th at Augusta.
Right.
So those types of par threes that aren't over long, but make you absolutely pucker up and play and have to execute.
We've seen some real disasters on
drama.
all the holes that you just mentioned. All right, Michael, how about you?
First of all, I want him in my scramble group. I want to take him out so I actually have a chance.
All you have to do is put a putter in your hand.
All the ones, maybe not. Maybe he just knocks it in. All the ones that have been mentioned, but there's two that haven't. The 12th at Augusta is probably but the 17th is Sawgrass, which might be now, because it's there every year, the most famous par three. I mean, actually three. The postage stamp hole at Troon.
Okay, now you're taking it international.
Well, that's a pretty good little par three, and Sarazen made an ace there when he was like 75 years old. But to me, the 10th at Pine Valley, which has the most apropos nickname of, and I've been in it. Yeah, I mean, that to me, you took any of those and any of these, and I mean, I could take any of the other three at Marion, or the other two at Marion that didn't get mentioned. You could put them in my backyard. I'd take 9, and what one did I leave out? 3, which might be one of the hardest holes on the course. But you want a hole that maybe you can make a score on sometimes. Like the 7th at Pebble, you can make a good shot on there if, the wind's not howling, you don't knock into a bunker. You don't want one, like the 17th at Marion might torture you a little bit.
How about, here's a retro hole I'm going to mention. The hole's still there, but it's been changed dramatically since it opened 25 years ago, maybe more than that. 7th at Stone Harbor.
Wow.
How about that? Huh?
Jaws.
As a little shout out to Mr. Muirfield, Desmond, remember that with the bunkers, which were separated by water from the green? I mean, they did. Well, they say they softened it. I don't know if it's softened any. It's still.
I don't think there's water between the bunker and the green.
Not anymore.
I don't think so.
No,
yeah.
but you still have to hit it, and into the wind. It can play up to 165, depending on.
You needed like a 5-minute recital just to know where to drop there.
Right.
Well, they have a big circle now, but even that shot.
But but at the point when there was the water between, everybody was just sit there and go, oh, what do I do?
Right. Yeah. How about at your club, Overbrook? What par threes would you like to replicate if you could?
Well, Overbrook's the 10th hole, which is
Right.
one of our shorter.
Right next to the best halfway house in America, by the way, folks. But that's my opinion. Go ahead.
In the 10th hole, which is one of our shorter holes, just because of the elevation change, and the wind, is actually a tough little par 3 to hit.
And what's the one on the back? Is it 14?
Number 15.
15, where sometimes
Straight
you can't
up.
even see the top of the flag,
You
right?
can put the best halfway house in your backyard too. Like if you wanted that.
I think I'd rather have
How
that
about the one
than
at White Marsh? How about the 2 at White Marsh?
Oh.
The one where you're hitting straight
number
up.
9.
Right, and then the 4th hole, is it the 4th or the 3rd hole?
16 is the straight up.
16's a straight up the hill.
That's a lot like the Overbrook
But
hole.
when they used to have the Ivy, back in the day, people couldn't even. I mean, I
Number 9.
I wouldn't get there with a driver, right? I mean, on that.
And it has a major false front. And
Yes,
if
it
you
does.
don't get it all the way up top,
Why do people remember par 3s the most?
that's a lot of construction, though, for a backyard hole.
But because it's a one-shot deal. You're on the tee. If you play a long par 4, you got to hit 2 really good shots probably. If you play a par 3. Everybody gets lucky once in a while and hits that one really good shot that leaves you that 5-foot birdie putt that you can miss.
Speaking of luck, how many holes in one of you had in your lifetime?
2.
2? Oscar?
3.
Joe?
1.
Wait a minute. I'm 1 ahead of you and only 1 behind
And
you.
I'm even with him.
I
with
find
you.
that incredible.
Well,
because these guys,
you
I
play
know
a lot
he's
of
better
golf.
than me, and I'm sure he is.
You're in the hunt.
Oh God.
What would you like to build in your backyard? A halfway house or a par 3? Talk about it. Have some fun. We'll be back in a moment as Inside Golf continues.
Located in Bluebell, just a short drive from Plymouth Meeting, Bluestone Country Club offers a setting that's close at hand but feels like a world away. Bluestone offers a championship caliber golf course, practice facilities including a large driving range, separate chipping and putting areas, and a staff of PGA professionals. At the Country House at Bluestone, you'll find excellent food, superb service, and an outstanding setting. Their expert staff will assist in planning your next event, whether it's a wedding or simply a luncheon, dinner, or cocktail party. Check out Bluestone's variety of membership options. Much more than a golf course, Bluestone is a community.
When I got back from the Gulf War, I was afraid to leave my house for 5 years. Clearview Hope and Renee Powell saved my life.
When I started Clearview Hope, I wanted to do all that I could to help our nation's women military veterans.
Renee, with golf, you have empowered all of us, and we just cannot thank you enough.
The best stories end in thanks. Share your story at ThanksPGAPro.com.
That's going to do it for this week's edition of Inside Golf for the Merchandise Show here in Orlando, Florida. I want to thank Mike Bowman and Ed Harris from the Valley Forge Tourism and Convention Board for giving us a preview of a couple big events coming to the Philadelphia area this year, and also to our new best friends from France as they previewed the first ever Ryder Cup in France. I'm Harry Donahue. Remember, no matter how bad it's going for you out there, don't pick up. See you next time, next week, right here from the PGA Merchandise Show in Orlando, Florida.
Inside Golf is presented by Destination Montco Golf. 54 courses, 300,000 yards. Check them out at montcogolf.com. By the First Tee of Philadelphia. The First Tee helps young men and women become better golfers, but most important, better people. Get involved. Visit thefirsttphiladelphia.org. By the Golf Association of Philadelphia, GAP, celebrating amateur golf since 1897. By Jersey Man Magazine, it's a Jersey way of life. And by Philly Man Magazine, bringing it to Broad Street. And by Inside Golf's partner since 1998, the Philadelphia Section PGA, experts in the game and business of golf. Take time to thank your local PGA golf professional.